All right.
Thank you, everybody, for watching Eastern Volleyball Network. Graham Wren here, Kevin Knight unable to join us. However, we do have our women's beach volleyball correspondent / some might say savant, Shane Spellman here with us. How you doing?
What's up, everyone? Pardon me for looking to the right. I got my iPad here with the NCAA Beach Championships, and LSU just beat Cal 3-2 to continue the streak of 2 correct picks for me so far. So feeling good.
That's nice. But do you fill out a bracket for NCAA women? Who do you have? What's noticeable? What do you want to? If you were going to give like a quick and dirty 2-second, things to know about your NCAA women's bracket, what would you say?
I think there's 4 teams that can win it: USC, UCLA, TCU, Florida State. I think those are kind of the 4 best teams in the country, have been all season. So we'll kind of see how they battle out. I'm actually intrigued to see how the East versus West shapes up in terms of number of teams in the Elite Eight. So we'll see. That was one of the battles. That LSU Cal match was one of the ones that could push the East over the edge in terms of outnumbering the teams in the West in the Elite Eight for the first time ever. So
nice. Really warms your heart. We love to see it. And to be clear, when you say East versus West, is it basically California and Hawaii is the West and everything else is the East?
That is correct. That is correct.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, we're going to bring you a prediction video for the women's main draw AVP in Austin. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump in real quick for viewers who maybe normally watch our prediction videos and have seen us go to like rock, paper, scissors. We will not be resorting to that here. We're going to up our professionalism a little bit for the AVP main draw tour. Instead, Shane and I will give confident picks, and whoever's got the more confidence in their pick is who we're going to go with if we disagree on a match. And then we're going to go ahead and bet dinner over who gets more of those right versus wrong. Maybe on my part, given that I'm going against the self-proclaimed and or self-recognized savant that is Shane Spellman. So it might be a bit iffy, but I'm here for it. I think it's what people want to see. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into the bracket. 1 versus 16, Pavin and Jimena Paredes against Durango and Carly Scott. I feel like we got to go with the Canadians, right? I mean, the pedigree and world-class volleyball they bring to the table, I think it's going to be a little bit too much for Durango and Scott. What do you think?
Yeah, I got to agree with that. Carly Scott, good player by all accounts. First year on the AVP, first main draw. So that'll be cool for her. Played indoor at Michigan, played beach at Pepperdine, played on their 1 and 2 pair for a year with some good players there. So she's someone to look out for in the future. But yeah, I think you're right. Canadians take this one.
Awesome. 8 versus 9, we have Delaney Mawerder, Maria Clara Salgado against Katie Stewart and Tim Hildreth. What do you think? What do you notice about this match?
A couple things. You've got Spieler and Hildreth. Spieler's coming back from knee injury, so good to see her back out there. Really love to watch her play. She's somebody that I show a lot of kids at coach, make sure that they watch Katie Spieler because we got a lot of smaller kids. So it's like, hey, I think we should model our game after Katie. So really happy to have her back on tour. I think Maria Salgado played really well last year, so I'm anxious to see where she's at. 2 9ths with a college kid is pretty good. Albeit Lexi Denneberg is phenomenal, but I think Maria got served a lot and kind of carried a lot of that load. The other thing is just the size from that Hildreth and Spieler team is probably going to be a limiting factor for them. Not really a big blocking presence. You probably see Hildreth at the net a little bit, but I think Mawerder and Salgado take this one.
All right. Next at 5-12, Emily Stockman, Emily Day, Team Emily, against Jessica Gaffney and Molly Turner.
Yeah, I like the Emily's here. I think the best player on the court here is Emily Stockman. And I think that probably takes them over the edge. Probably a little more physical, a little more polished. I really like Molly Turner. I think in a year or two, she's going to be somebody that we really need to look out for. She's well on the way up. Had a great year last year. But yeah, I think just the experience is going to take the Emilys here in that match.
I would have to agree. Unfortunately for us, so far, all we think is chalk. I'm looking for that to change, but I don't know if it's going to change in the first round, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, if you look at my past picking, I'm kind of a chalk guy.
Yeah. All right, we've got the 4 versus 13, Kalinsky at Syracuse against Katelyn, Leary, and Carly Kahn. I think you've made some previous picks against Carly Kahn, and she's kind of, came back to bite you. You think you're going to pick against her here? You think?
I think that she stung me on a match to get in. I think it was Chicago, the last year. Phenomenal player. Her and Katelyn just made the final of that Panama City event. That's how they got into this one, and lost to Lily and Larissa in 3. So that was a good showing for them. I think, Sarah and Kelly coming off a couple of really, really good FIVB tournaments. I think they probably take this one.
I would have to agree as well. I think for me, Kelly Kalinsky and Syracuse are some of the favorites to win this tournament. Maybe, this is a 4 seed, and I would say maybe even a little bit underseeded based on recent performance, kind of how the partner shakeups went post-Olympics. And also, frankly, missing the 18, no April Ross, no Alex Feynman. So all that considered, I think we're even a little underseeded at the 4. So cool for them to do big things and go late into the tournament.
Yep.
All right. At the 3 versus 14, we have Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponsel against Avicimo and Tony Rodriguez. Let me just say, I think we're going to go chalk here. I think we got to give Sponsel and Cannon the benefit of the doubt. But if there's a match that flips for me, I think it's this one. I think both Simo and Rodriguez are rising very quickly. The match from one of the most recent challenger event, watching Rodriguez and Donna Munoz in the qualifier. I thought Tony looked particularly strong. I only saw their second match, but she looked really strong in that match. We kind of combined that with Avicimo, who is doing some really good things out there. I think qualified 2 out of 3 times last year, playing with different partners for each tournament. Take a 7. But at the same time, I think I get the benefit of the doubt with Sponsel and Cannon. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. Yeah, Tony is probably going to be pretty good. She's semifinals of that Panama City event, which was a really good event with Savvy. That's how they're in this tournament. So they played well down there. And the qualifier you're talking about, I believe, was Rosarito, or before that. It was the one before that. Either way, it wasn't Rosarito. Actually, it wasn't Rosarito. Same weekend, but challenger.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, kind of on a roller coaster there a little bit. Their first match, they kind of just escaped to get to the second match. And if she plays like she did in the second match, I think they could give them a good run. If she plays like she did in the first match, well, they might be in some trouble. Either way, I think Sponsel's the best player in that group of 4 players, and again, that kind of wins out in the first round usually.
Moving on to the next match, the 6 versus 11. Everyone's favorite team, Karen Klopp, Kristen Nutt against Carissa Cook and Emily Hartong. I love the team of Klopp and Nutt, and I will pick them in a lot of matches, close to a confidence 10. I'm going to go ahead and do that here. What do you think?
Yeah, I like them here. Chris and Emily are a good team. They've played individually in a bunch of main draws, but yeah, I think Nuss and Cloth are just on a different level. And I think they handle business here.
Okay, sounds good. By the way, I just looked it up. So it drives me nuts. The FIVB challenger we're talking about was in Itapema, down in Brazil. That was
Okay.
Yeah, driving me nuts. I had to look it up.
Got it.
All right, next 7 versus 10. We have the Maestrinis against Carolina Marciniak and Megan Rice. Apologies for pronunciation there. I think we got to go with the season best Maestrinis, right?
Yeah, I think we got to go Larissa and Lily here, albeit tons of experience in this match. I mean, Kaya has won a bunch of NBL tournaments back when the NBL was in its heyday. She basically won every weekend. Megan Rice, final of Hermosa in 2019, I believe, with Katie Hogan. Or I don't know, there was something going on there. Katie Hogan and Hildreth, I think, made the final. Megan Rice was in the mix somewhere. Might have been the semis, but either way, good team there. But yeah, I think the experience and just kind of the bigness of Lily and just kind of the wizardry of Larissa win this match.
All right, fair enough. Then at the 2 versus 15, we have Bet Flint Kelly Chang against Aurora Davis and Deegan Van Blunt. And I think we probably need to give the nod to Flint and Chang here. Does anything you want to highlight this match?
Yeah, I mean, nobody plays more volleyball in more opposite locations weekend to weekend than Aurora Davis. She goes everywhere. Will play any tournament. She brings her kids everywhere. I think is awesome. So yeah, they're always around. She won a ton of like big, kind of more regional tournaments last year with a handful of partners. Tegan, really good player, has been in a handful of main draws as well. This will be the first one that she's been in without her twin sister, Annika. So normally they split block. So I'm kind of anxious to see and excited to see how she handles the load of running up. But yeah, either way, I think you got to give this one to Flint and Chang.
Sure. All right, winners round of 8, Pavin and Savannah Paredes and Delaney McWhorter and Maria Clara Salgado. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you got to go chalk here. I think you got to go with the Canadians. They just bring kind of a certain level of play that I think is higher than the top end of Mortar and Salgado, and I think they win this one. I think Pavin's size at the net is a huge factor.
All right, next we have Team Emily, Stockman and Day against Kelly, Kalinski, and Syracuse.
Yeah, this one I go Hughes and Kalinsky playing together at a super high level. We kind of highlighted that talking about them in the last round. Emily, they're good. They're both super veterans. I mean, they've played so much on the AVP tour, and Emily Stockman is playing with Lauren Fendrick in FIVBs, so she's been playing a lot, with Fendrick recently, and I'm not 100% sure how many reps they've had together recently. So, I think with all those factors considered, Syracuse and Kelly Kalinski take this one.
All right, Taryn Clough, Kristen Nuss against Therese Cannon and Sarah Sponsel. And you know what I'm thinking here, with Cannon and Sponsel 3 and Clough and Nuss at the 6, and considering that we saw this matchup in Itapema in, I believe, not the lucky losers round, but kind of the play into the round of 16, and we saw Clough and Nuss win in pretty consistent fashion. And I don't like picking chalk. I'm just itching to pick Clough and Nuss here. But what do you think?
Yeah, I can't really go against that. The scores of that match that you just referenced were 21-16 and 21-17. I watched it after the fact. It looked like Clough and Nuss really cruised the whole time. It looked like there were 3 players who were kind of ready for that level, and one who was maybe a step behind. not terribly far off, but enough to lose 21-16, 21-17. So I think I agree with you here. I think we got to go Cloth and Nuss.
All right. And then at the 2 versus 7, we have the Mistreenies against Flint and Chang, formerly known as Kelly Clay.
The artist formerly known as Kelly Clays. Yeah, I think after a slight veer off the track of chalk, I think we go back to it here. The most recently, Kelly and Betsy got 4th at a big event, and have been 5th place or better in both. Obviously, they got a 5th and a 4th, I think, or a 3rd and a 4th. There's just so much information to know. But either way, they're in those last 3 or 4 matches of the tournament in huge events, playing really well together. Kelly's on 2 game, as everybody knows, is something that is really, she's turned into a big weapon. So yeah, I think they win this one.
Yeah, it took a 4th in row 3 of the Elite 16 event. So I think we got to get this out here.
Yep.
All right, winners semifinals or winners round 4 playing in the semi. Kelly Kalinsky, Sarah Hughes against Sarah Pavin and Melissa Buchanan.
To me, this is a kind of a coin flip. I think these teams play in the final. And I think they'll split. I don't. It's hard to. It's kind of hard to pick right now. I think what I'll say is the road to this match favors Sarah Hughes and Kelly Kalinsky in this match, in that they've probably seen a little bit more pushback. So they're probably a little bit more primed to win this match. But maybe down the line in the tournament that changes. So I think I'm going to take Sarah and Kelly in this one.
Okay. Well, I won't fight you on it. And, Kelly Kalinsky and Sarah Hughes are playing some of the best volleyball I've ever seen them play. So I definitely won't fight you on pick. But I don't know if I agree that they're going to split. I think Kalinsky and Hughes are probably good for. I think they've been playing some extremely consistent, very strong volleyball. And I think they're in a good, in a good place to potentially just go straight through and beat the team twice. But we'll disagree when we get there. How about that?
Yeah.
And for now, we'll just go with Clinton.
We got to pick them again later, so I think we'll go with this one.
Yeah, we got a while to keep arguing with each other. All right, now we got Cloth and Nuss again, Flint and Chang.
Man, it's another really good one. We've talked about these teams a lot. I think maybe if it comes down to blocker, God, it's just so hard. The teams are so different. They're structured so differently. They're optimized to do very different things. I think Kelly and Betsy have been more consistently playing against higher level competition and playing really well. And I know that you're gonna push back on that a little bit. So
I am gonna push back on it a little bit, but I do feel like as far as a lot of teams out there to go, I feel like Cloth and Nuss are very well equipped to handle or to at least create some opportunities from Kelly Chang's on 2 games. You know what I mean? I think from a matchup perspective, they're a much harder team to consistently get balls down on to, especially considering that they played Kelly and their Swanson several times last year and were able to get better of them more often than not. So I think I'm gonna have to agree with you here. I'm gonna go with Cloth and Nuss with a confidence rating of like a 6. So how confident
I like Betsy and Kelly in this match at like a 7. 7.5 maybe.
I was gonna say this is exactly what I thought was gonna happen, which is that whoever goes first with their confidence rating is gonna get beat by exactly 1, no more, no less.
7.5. We'll call it 7.5.
All right. All right. Now moving on to the contenders. In the 13th place game, we have Aurora Davis, Tegan Van Gunst against Marciniak and Megan Rice. You like
what was the first team? I lost track. Who was the first team?
Aurora Davis, Tegan Van Gunst. Do you like the experience of Marciniak and Rice, or do you kind of like the I don't know, I guess scrappiness of Davis and Van Gunst?
Yeah, I think I like the experience of Marciniak and Rice here. I don't think there's a ton to say. I think they kind of outclass. Even just out height Tegan Van Gunst at the net, and I think that's going to be a problem for them. I think their shots are going to get down really fast, and as good as Aurora Davis is as a shot digger, that fast shots are tough to dig, and I think that's going to pose a big problem for them. So I think I'll take Kaya and Megan.
All right, Carissa Cook, Emily Hartong against Savvy Simo and Tony Rodriguez. I am all over the Savvy Simo, Tony Rodriguez train. I'm going to take them convincingly with a confidence rating of like a 10.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. I think at this point, what we really need to consider is who finishes higher between Savvy and Evan. I think that's something that we need to keep track of.
Wait, you said Savvy and who? Sorry,
Evan.
And yeah, that is very important. Yeah, I'll definitely be sure to mention it when I make the men's prediction video. And I think my prediction might be Savvy. I'm not gonna lie, pretty high on with Savvy and Tony are gonna do. So.
All right, I guess we'll see.
Work cut out for him. All right, next, Caitlin Leary, Carly Kahn against Jessica Gaffney and Molly Turner. You were talking a ton about how you really think Molly Turner is going to be someone we have to watch out for in the next couple of years. So can I assume that you're going to go with Gaffney and Turner here?
This is a tough one for me because, as I also said, Carly Kahn has proved me wrong multiple times already. So this is a tough one. I think Caitlin Leary is a little bit more steady than Gaffney. I think she's gonna be a little more under control. I think she's gonna make fewer mistakes. I think she's gonna be one of those players that's just super steady. I'm gonna go Kahn and Leary here. They had a great tournament in Panama City. Played awesome. I'm gonna go that way.
Okay. I don't feel particularly strongly either way about this matchup, and certainly don't feel strongly enough to risk a dinner over it. I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you. All right, next we have Katie Stewart and Hildreth against Gina Urango, Carly Scott.
Yeah, kind of a similar story here to the last matchup for Spieler and Hildreth, but to a little bit lesser degree, I think. Maybe not even. I think Gina and Carly handle this one. Yeah, just from like an offensive firepower standpoint, I think they just bring more and handle this business.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. All right, 9th place matches. We have Marciniak and Rice against Team Emily, Stockman and Day.
I got to go Team Emily here. I think probably, blocker versus defender. I think Emily are probably both better. And it's kind of rare to have a situation where both players on the other side of the net are better and that team loses. So I think I'm going to take Emily and Emily.
Yeah, fair point. All right, we have Savvy Simo, Tony Rodriguez against Delaney Mortar and Maria Clara Salgado.
Yeah. I'm going to take your team here. I'm I'm gonna go Tony and Savvy. I think they're gonna put together a nice little run here. I agree with you. I mean, I think they're playing well. I think, if Tony brings that game that she brought to the second match of the qualifier, I think we're in good shape.
Sure. And frankly, I've got to keep picking them as long as I possibly can, just put more pressure on Evans now. So
I agree.
To AVP Austin, think about that.
Yeah.
All right, next we have Katelyn, Leary, Carly Kahn against May Screening. I think I like the experience of the May Screening. Frankly, the high level of the May Screening over Leary and Kahn, as much as they do have a tendency to prove you wrong.
Yeah. If you look obviously very, very recently, head to head, Lily and Larissa are 1-0. They won in Panama City. They beat them in 3. Good match. But if you look back to last year, Lily and Larissa second, third in 2 Sundays in a row, beat a bunch of the best teams in the tournament a couple times. So yeah, I think they're going to take this one.
Yeah. Noticeably absent from the field, I might add. Because I started. You talked about the May Screening run, and of course that brought to mind Brandy Wilkerson and Sarah Hughes. Noticeably absent here is Brandy Wilkerson. Any idea? Do we even know who she's partnering with for AVP stuff, or if she's coming down?
No, I don't know. I don't even know. I haven't really heard much about what she's doing. I mean, obviously she's playing with Sophie Bukovic, and they had a good tournament. The last tournament, I think they maybe a 7th, maybe a 9th. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, I think she's playing with Sophie and probably putting most of her effort into the World Tour with Sophie.
Sure. All right. Next we have Therese Cannon, Paris Consul against Gina Urango and Carly Scott. And here, frankly, I just really like the overall class of Paris Consul to go ahead and carry here. I think they probably win into.
Yeah, I got no disagreement there.
All right, 7th place matches: Emily Stockman, Emily Day against Savvy Simo and Tony Rodriguez.
Ooh. I gotta go experience here. I think right now Emily again is the best player in that group of 4 people. And I think she kind of takes control of this, and Emily's used their experience and refinement to beat Tony and Savvy. But what do you got?
Oh, I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you there. What's your confidence in that?
Yeah, I mean, my confidence rating is I think it's relatively close to a coin flip. I mean, I think I'll probably go 5.5.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and go with a confidence pick of 6.5 for Kay and Savvy.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. All right. Next we have May Screening against Therese Cannon and Paris Consul. Do you think, Paris Consul? I feel like Paris Consul and Therese Cannon are much more than a lot of other teams that are playing World Tour events. They are probably getting better at a faster clip than a lot of other teams. Just from the standpoint of Therese Cannon continue to improve. Do you think that that's enough for them here, or do you think that the experience of the May Screening is going to be too much?
I'm gonna take Lily and Larissa here for the reasons that you mentioned. I think that I think they'll probably go after Therese, and I think well, it's hard to say. They may go after Sponsel to see if they can get a setting advantage, but they may go after Therese because they think they can make some moves on her defensively and kind of cross her up a little bit and get some easy digs. So I think they've got 2 routes to go there, and I think the mind of Melissa and Lily is gonna kind of prevail in that situation.
Fair enough. I think I have to agree with you. I don't have enough confidence in Cannon and Sponsel to disagree. All right, the 5th place match we have Savvy Simo and Tony Rodriguez against Cloth and Nuss. And, as much as I would love to continue mounting pressure against Evan, I think Savvy and Tony have made a giant run from the 13th place match all the way up to 5th. But unfortunately, I think this is where it ends.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. The only point I will make there is you're looking at 3 LSU kids in that match, which I think Russell Brock would be pretty happy about.
Yeah. It's a great little nugget there. Appreciate you, Shane. All right, next in our other 5th place match, we have the Maestrinis against Pavin and Savannah Paredes. A little torn, but I feel like we got to go with the reigning world-class power of Pavin and Savannah Paredes to give us a reason not to against the Maestrinis.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Although Lily and Larissa have shown last year 2 tournaments in a row that they can beat a lefty Canadian blocker. So who knows? No, I think you're right. I think the Canadians take this one. And yeah, it's a fifth for Lily and Larissa.
All right, semifinal. We've got Kalinsky and Hughes against Cloth and Nuss. I like Kalinsky and Hughes here. I think, granted, Cloth and Nuss have only got to play, I believe, on the Challenger event. They did decently. I believe they took a 9th, I want to say. It was a 5th. I guess either took a 5th or a 9th. They didn't make the semi. But of that same tournament, Kalinsky and Hughes, went on to win that tournament. Went ahead and beat the Dutch team in the final 2. Playing some really good ball. I think I've got to stick with them.
Yeah, I don't feel strongly enough about Cloth and Nuss right now to go against that, and I feel like Sarah and Kelly are playing some of the best ball that anybody's playing right now. Cloth and Nuss went down and won that Futures event in Australia. They beat the former Olympian down there twice, once in pool and then once in the finals. So they're playing good. They're playing well. But yeah, I think Kelly and Sarah are going to get to the final here.
All right, the other semi we have Kelly Chang against Pavin and Paredes.
Yeah, I'm going strongly with the Canadians here. I think that Sarah Pavin is one of the players who really brought the On2 game to the World Tour level. I think she was one of the people that really kind of made it popular and made it something that people do. And so she's kind of one of the best positioned players in the tournament to defend against it. So for that reason, and I think Melissa looked really, really solid inside out in the tournament they played this year. So for those reasons, I think I got to take the Canadians here.
I don't see any flawed reasoning there, and I think I got to agree. So I think, plus I want to see our rematch winners semi and go ahead and get that battle going. So in the final, we will see Syracuse against Pavin and Savannah Paredes, and I'm rolling strong with Kalinsky and Hughes. Confidence rating of 12.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Sarah and Mel, and I think here in the final, we kind of just let it ride, and we make it known that my pick is the Canadians, your pick is the Americans, and we see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do that same thing, that we do in tournaments where Kevin Knight makes the finals, which is that the entire world knows that I'm not picking Kevin to win, and the entire world knows that Kevin is picking Kevin to win. So we'll just go ahead and leave it at that. You're rocking the Canadians. I'm draping the American flag over my shoulders like the true patriot that I am. Rocking with Kalinsky and Hughes.
Great.
right, man. Well, thank you for hopping on. I greatly appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. Hopefully, do you remember how many we just agreed on? I think it was like 4 or 5. So I'm going to say hopefully you do a little bit worse.
I think 4. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's 4, I'm going to go ahead and say that hopefully you do a little bit worse than your qualifier. And I do a little bit better than your qualifier.
We'll see how it plays out. I'm excited. There's a lot of action this weekend. NCAA Beach continues, and we got the AVP Austin, so we're going to be glued to the TV.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, man. Appreciate your time, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care.
All righty. Peace out.
Peace out.